Hi everyone. Today I'm doing a lightning session on build your success pace and thriving in the agentic AI economy. Thanks for joining. A little bit about me. I'm a seasoned product professional with nearly 20 years experience, and I have created a framework called the Space Navigator, which I'm trying to showcase you today. I worked in three countries: India, United States, and UK. For the past 10 years, I've been working in London. Bit about my career. For the past 20 years, I put on several hats. I worked as a developer, QA engineer, product operations lead, and currently as an AI strategist. I have navigated through several transformations from web technologies to native mobile and later on to cloud native. And recently, I've started focusing on AI transformation. Based on my experience, I've seen that the AI transformation is unlike the past transformations for various reasons. I spent a lot of time over the past few months understanding why is it different and how people can actually navigate through this transformation with better success. A quick disclaimer, this framework is my intellectual property, and the work is still in progress. It's being shared for educational purposes, and things might evolve over time as I refine it with advancements in AI. Today's agenda is about how AI is impacting traditional product development lifecycle, how AI native PDLC is evolving, what are the challenges that teams are facing to deploy AI pilots to production, and how do we thrive in the AI era. That's a glimpse into my Space Navigator framework. So in the traditional PDLC, we have different phases, that is problem discovery, solution discovery, and development delivery. All these phases, right from research, validation, design, development, and maintaining phases, we have tons of manual activities where people are putting in a lot of effort, time, and it also costs a lot of money in doing all these tasks, right from writing the PRDs or developing prototypes and also developing code. We have used cloud native modern infrastructure for all these time. For the past decade, we had best practices and staged rollouts, fast rollback mechanism when things went wrong, and the infrastructure actually enabled teams to deliver any features at high velocity with rapid innovation. Despite having all these modern infrastructure, companies still had a great risk when something went wrong because velocity accelerates blast radius of the issues as well, leading to potential consequences with unintended outcomes. As we move into the AI era, things are going super fast. Now, how are we going to tackle issues when it comes to AI era? Because AI is impacting the traditional PDLC, it is increasing the velocity, and we are going to just look into the Gen AI and agentic AI capabilities, how they can be leveraged during this PDLC process, and how the defects impact. Let's have a look at that. So we have layered AI stack, that is like generative AI and agentic AI. So the impact on PDLC is that the velocity is increasing to we can create like generate specs, write code, generate test cases, draft the release notes, or even explain the legacy code at a very fast pace. At an outer layer, we can use agentic AI to improve the efficiency of delivering software, and we can have autonomous implementation of research like market research or technical competency research. We can implement end-to-end features, do some auto healing of bugs if they are identified dynamically, implement automated provisioning of infrastructure. and automate the patching of technical debt. Overall, AI native PDLC is actually reducing the time it takes, effort needed in implementing all these solutions in the PDLC cycle. The phases remain like discovering, experimenting, building. There are some extra focus areas that we need to pay attention to. That is, after deploying, we need to monitor how these systems are performing and how do we govern these. A lot of people have been talking about vibe coding and vibe engineering. These are very good when it comes to the early phases of the PDLC, where vibe coding helps people to rapidly prototype, especially giving natural language prompts and explore any ideas at high speed. However, we cannot deploy them into production for scalability issues or security issues. They are very brittle, and if we do not take care of maintaining these, they can become tech debt over time. And the tools like most people use are like Lovable, Replit, and Bolt. And taking this vibe coding to the next stage is like vibe engineering, where there are better practices, like you have proper specifications, not just prompts, but you have structured approach to orchestrate these systems. And the primary goal of vibe engineering is to have sustainable code and delivery. However, they have the risk of exposing security gaps and also scalability issues. The new challenge that comes with the whole agentic systems is that system building is the most important skill, and we also have to manage some operations. So there is rigorous engineering involved and human in the loop governance in the system building. Manually, we need to perform a lot of review on hallucinated logic of the LLMs, and it can be very overwhelming for human beings to review the code that is like at such a scale. And we also need to pay attention to edge case failures. We also have to make sure that the integration is happening seamlessly across these systems, APIs, and also the various protocols that we are integrating into these systems. When it comes to operations, we also have to pay attention to making some maintenance autonomous and have some feedback loops so that these are efficiently monitoring the system health and performance. We also have to automate some rollback capabilities just in case something goes wrong. We cannot let the agents continue. So we also need to have healing mechanisms so anything goes wrong, the agents are able to detect and heal those issues. I want to give a small example of like when system went wrong in case of the agentic AI applications. Last year in July 2025, there was this use case with Replit agent where a guy called Jason Lemkin, he actually was using this agent. It deleted the production databases, and he was like having some instructions in place that said during code freeze you shouldn't do these things, but apparently Replit agent violated those, and it admitted that there were some things that were not as per expectations. And when Jason asked to roll back, Replit agent said it cannot, it is impossible. In reality, he could actually get back the database to the original state and he could manage. But the thing is, this is not acceptable. And as humans, we need to take responsibility. The agents, we might give them the instructions expecting them to follow, but in case they do not follow, the responsibility comes back to us. So we need to make sure that we are taking that greater responsibility when we are building systems with these agents. According to research, Gen AI pilots, around 95% of them did not actually give any positive profit for the companies. And this research was by MIT Nanda. And the thing is, there was only a very low success rate, but Even that little success rate actually helped the companies to get revenue of like two times more. And in some cases, like there was 40% cost savings. This was research done by BCG in September 2025. So there is this gap, like pilots, they are stuck in the pilot stage, not going into production, but very little ones that get into production are showing ROI. So how do we make sure that the lot of projects in the pilot stage move into production? What is stopping them? That is about the framework that I designed, and I would like to showcase that. So in every company, like people like companies have goals, and leadership is trying to come up with strategies so that the workforce can follow in achieving those. When it comes to AI, the executives are seeing ROI, but the thing is, there are tons of risks that the workforce see, and these are not visible for the leadership teams. There is a misalignment between the expectations of AI from leadership and the workforce. So let's look into these challenges. Like they fall into three different buckets. One is the leadership having blind spots. They do not know what exactly is blocking the workforce from adopting AI. They might not be providing the clarity needed for the workforce, what tools to use across the company, and what is safe, not safe. There is no consistent strategy across different functions from the leadership point of view. And the workforce are actually overwhelmed with the pace of AI advancements happening, and it is actually causing to shadow AI, where people are using their own tools that are helping them with their productivity, but it is hindering the effective integration into the daily workflows that teams can work together. Ultimately, it is leading to the strategic disconnect because of the misalignment between the top down vision and the bottom up implementation. And this is actually stalling the progress and preventing from pilot to production. And how do we drive this strategic alignment? Actually, people are at different stages. Like, if you consider me, I'm a solo entrepreneur. I have my own startup, and I have wide amount of opportunities using AI, and the risk is low. And I am kind of like happy with that. You will see a lot of people talking very great things about AI. I think they are mostly in like small companies, startup companies. And there are some scale up companies where they have something in place and they are leveraging AI to scale up their efforts. And with proper support, like with more people supporting you, you have better chance of reaching your goals faster. It's a better position. But when it comes to medium to large companies where they have mature products, aligning all these themes together, like and making sure that you are preserving the things that are working currently, not causing problem with the existing stuff. It causes like constraints, like you might be having some legal constraints or privacy related to data. There could be constraints stopping these big companies from adopting AI, and leadership workforce they need to align on these risks. Before I go further, I would like to ask you, what do you see when I show you this optical illusion? Could you please put in your chat? All right. Thank you. I don't want to spend too much time here, but no one has seen anything else except for rectangles. And when you apply to companies, you see that a lot of teams are working in silos doing specialized work. Like some teams are working on iOS apps, or someone working on Android apps, or some teams working on marketing, partnerships, privacy. So you might be seeing teams working autonomously. This is the obvious thing. But here is the thing, there are some binding forces between these teams, and it is difficult to see. Especially the leadership team doesn't see them. But these are the team binding forces, and these are actually manual tasks mostly. when it comes to sharing of knowledge. We all attend meetings, a ton of Zoom meetings or in person meetings where we share knowledge, best practices, or we also access like Jira or other Airtable, so that we can share knowledge in different, collaborate efficiently. We also follow some processes, like when we are doing experimentation, we have a defined process for that. So there are tons of things that we work together, and these are the binding forces that helps the cross functional team coordination through shared resources. All these are human. The main issue with this is that everyone is working in silo, and they know how to interact with other teams, but they are the blind spots for the teams. And AI is actually helping to uh, unlock the organizational intelligence, because as humans we have limited knowledge, like we can keep only something, but if we gather all the information and maintain some organizational intelligence, it is accessible for the whole company. How do we actually use that organizational intelligence and create a success space for the whole, for different teams across the company, and provide a success space? That is the idea behind Success Navigator framework. Each letter in this space represents something. S for strategy. So, how do you strategize implementing any AI initiative? Like we will consider the dual layer strategy here. Basically, there are some things that can be automated and they do not need any agentic AI stuff. People need to recognize that and only go for agentic implementation where it is really needed. Things might be very simple to do automation, and they do not consume tokens, like the models they take a ton of tokens while executing. So automation should be the first approach to implement something. And if there are some complicated stuff that are limited by human capabilities, then go for agentic AI on top of that automation. Strategize your work mostly using agentic AI where it is needed, but if it is not needed, you would unnecessarily waste tokens or put too much engineering into it. Other thing is strategize the teams in a way that people are able to use their AI fluency efficiently and also the domain expertise. Let's take an example of someone working on a legal project. The developers might not understand the nuances of a legal terminology. You might need some support from another expert in the domain, legal domain, and you need to work in collaboration with them. So, when you're strategizing teams, you need to consider these factors. And you also have to plan based on the problems, especially the problems that are more unlocking and that are improving the capabilities of people and processes. Because when we are adopting AI, quite often it is the people who have a lot of friction with AI, because it is changing culturally the way we work, and a lot of people do not have proper training, and we also need to redesign the workflows. So there is a lot of challenge happening, and with AI transformation this is very important before we unlock anything else, because technology is going at a very fast pace. We need to unlock people so that they are able to catch up with technology and do things that can benefit the company. So this is 70-20-10 rule, where majority of the focus should be on people. The problems that are related to people should be unlocked with AI capabilities first, and that will actually help with AI adoption at the company as well. Alignment of AI ambitions, like we have seen that there is a misalignment with the leadership and the workforce. So how do we bring that alignment? Basically, we have tons of new things that are coming into picture. When it comes to accelerating AI, agentic AI systems, we need to use advanced prompts. people need to be really comfortable with writing such prompts, and they should be able to understand different frameworks that can help them. And these are something that teams share across. And when you're using autonomous agents, there are a lot of things to be taken care of. And every team should have some consistent way of building these agents. Only when there is alignment with the company goals and the team outcomes, then we can have agents that are working for the systems that are built for a particular purpose. There was a research done by a national research group, and they surveyed more than 3,400 senior leaders across 24 countries, global leaders. According to them, the 52% of these leaders are actively using AI agents. So it is time that companies actually explore, not just explore, but exploit the AI agents, but align all the teams across the company so that they can use these AI agents efficiently. For that, they need clarity of goals. They also need to have clarity on how cross functionally teams are coordinating, because the communication, collaboration and coordination, like all these, can be done partly by AI. In fact, the heavy lifting can be done by AI. Human element is still needed, because when AI doesn't understand particular nuance, trade-offs should be discussed, communicated by human beings. And when there is a need for domain experts, there is this two in a box model where you might be good with the technology, but you need to pair up with domain experts for that. Only after making sure that everyone is aligned with the coordination part and they have clarity, then you can scale the successes to all the teams across the company. And when you have clarity, you would understand that you have to build like best practices. You need to have guardrails in place so that the models do not go rogue, and the governance so that people are following some compliance rules and stuff. And there should be some kind of observation, like how people are using the tokens when they are using models, and if there are any hallucinations by the models, like how are they making sure that they are checking them and grounding the LLMs. And performance related issues, people need to pay attention to that. And everyone plays a role in this whole PDLC. It is not like one person's responsibility in a team, like everyone contributes towards these things. Finally, empowering the whole workforce. Whenever someone is trying to work on an AI initiative, they need to take a three-stage approach. In the traditional PDLC, people would do something on their local machines, test it in their own environments, and then push it to test environments like staging, pre-production environments, and finally move into production. But when it comes to the AI initiatives, they have to explore something within their local machines, also within their own teams, and which is completely isolated. And then if they are actually finding some value with the tools, like emerging tools, they can experiment in a sandboxed environment. Those sandbox environments should be consistent across different teams so that they can test together in an isolated manner. And only the experiments that win should be moved into production. So you can scale and exploit them in production after making sure that there are no risks involved, or there are calculated risks taken and trade-offs well measured and communicated across, so that whatever you are doing from exploring to exploitation, you are taking care of various factors needed. So all these elements in space, they matter a lot, and this is what helps the leadership and the workforce to align together, whether it is aligning with the AI ROI goals of the leadership, or the human teams collaborating with each other, contributing in their own ways, and also understanding the various risks and trade offs. They are communicating it so openly that everyone is aware of it and trying to overcome the challenges posed by the AI risks that come with AI capabilities. And AI transformation is a shared responsibility. It's not like one person can handle everything. Like in solo, like if you are working by yourself, maybe you are working on a small scale project. But when it is a big scale project and it involves a lot more elements, it's difficult for one person to take care of everything. So having a small team is always helpful, and it is a shared responsibility to go through this journey together. To be successful as an AI native digital team, there are a ton of skills to be acquired, and these are something totally new with AI. And basically, to have the human interactions happening with AI agents interactions, we need to have systems, and we need to build using proper advanced prompting techniques and implement context engineering. We need to test them in the sandbox environment. People need to be able to orchestrate using standardized protocols like model context protocol or agent to agent or agent payment to protocol or agent communications protocol. These are some things that are standardized over time, and there might be some new protocols coming, but we need to be able to orchestrate these into the systems. And depending on the use case, there could be several ways of implementing systems, and we should be aware of when to use what kind of architecture, like whether something can be done within a single agent, or you can pass it on to some other agent, sub agents, or you can execute a workflow in a sequence, or have so many agents working on collaboration with each other. Like you might have heard about OpenCloud working with different agents like a swarm. So you need to understand what architecture suits in particular use case, and people should be comfortable with writing evaluations, basically making sure the systems are performing as per expectation. We can't have 100% accuracy or 100% as deterministic results, but we need to make sure that we are having some evaluations in place, be it manual or having LLMs as judge. And there should be some kind of red teaming, something like you are trying to test out the system when some bad inputs are given. How is the system handling such things? So you need to take care of those things. And finally, observability, to make sure that we are not consuming a lot of tokens and the cost incurred with the usage is not going beyond expectations. We also need to have some human in the loop triggers so that something goes wrong or they need supervision from humans. We need to have such things in place. All these skills are very important when we are designing systems. Teams can be successful when the people working in the teams have all these skills. We are in the very early stages of forming AI native teams, because until now we worked with humans, and now we are expected to work with AI teams, and we do not have any best practices. So we are in the forming stages and have a greater coherence. It will take time, but right now in the forming stage, we will have some challenges that we have to go through. But as humans, we need to put in our agency to make the best team out of human AI collaboration. Any AI native workforce is successful when they have that space, like the employees are capable of leveraging AI and they are productive. Whatever they are doing, those should be aligned with the team outcomes. When the outcomes are achieved through KPIs, that unlocks the customer success. Basically, you will see the results in customer satisfaction or net promoter score results. When that gets unlocked, you will see the benefits for the company. The company goals are met. It is the company goals that the leadership team gives to the workforce team. So when there is alignment between leadership and the workforce, like if we consider this inside out approach as well, the AI native teams can be successful in leveraging AI. In a company where multiple teams are working on different things, when we have a space where everyone is consistently and using some standard ways of working, making sure that they are aligned with their team goals, also the company goals, everyone is speaking the same language and has access to the organizational intelligence, this unlocks the superpower of AI, and everyone can benefit from the capabilities that we get from AI adoption. As machines start communicating with each other, this becomes very important, like standardization and consistency. Once every team is aligned and teams are having their spaces, it is then these companies start seeing ROI, like they can deliver things at speed and the sustainability is also achieved. And this is something that we are practicing to make it work. So if some company nails it and is successful, it's not like someone else can copy it easily. They have to put in the effort to get to that stage. So ultimately, space payoff is better ROI, speed to value, and sustainable competitive advantage. And you don't see results immediately within 3 months or 6 months. It could take like 12 months or more when this alignment happens. And according to research, 74% of executives report positive ROI within 12 months. So that's about my space framework. It's basically you can identify what skills you need to develop and how the alignment gaps can be addressed and how you can show your agency in bringing up a safe space in your team and build your space in the agentic AI era.